So the next thing what we study here is the team formation, how the team would be formed in the testing. So the quality of the testing and as a result the quality of the product, it solely depends on the people that are employed in testing. So the manager, they have to take the excellent individuals with strong technical background, but still the team may perform well or it might not perform well. So even if the players in the team are excellent, then they may not be the match winners. Okay. So for a team to succeed, each individual in the team has to play different roles needed to achieve the goal. Okay, so these roles can be divided into three categories. The first one is action oriented roles. In that, we have shaper, implementer, completer, or the finisher. Next, we have people oriented roles, that means coordinator, team worker, resource investigator. And the third one is cerebral roles, such as monitor, evaluator, and specialist. So we will see the meaning of these all roles, right? So the first one is action oriented roles. In that we have shaper. So shaper is a person who challenge the team to improve, right? They enjoy taking the lead. They can be argumentative and they can hurt the feelings of others, but they challenge the team and they like to lead the team. Okay. The next one is implementer. Like these are the people who get the things done. So once the idea is in the place, they turn the ideas into plans and actions. Then the last one is completer or the finisher. These are the peoples, they ensure that the project is completed. So this person is naturally concerned about all the tiny details at the end of the project. Their tendency is to worry. Okay. In the people oriented roles, first we have the coordinator, like your team leader. He comes under this coordinator. He is the person who is jovial and uh, all the members can approach them. So when an issue arises, they will people can approach them so that they will solve the issue. The next is team worker. That means they will ensure that the team is working well together and they sacrifice their achievement for the good of the team. Okay. Then is resource investigator. That means they are the people working with the external stakeholders or the clients, making sure that the team achieves its objective. The last one is the cerebral role. So cerebral roles, that means are basically cerebral people. That means they use their mind or they use their brains instead of the hearts. Like they are not emotional people, right? So they make hard decisions. They, instead of your emotions, they take hard facts. They consider the facts and they accordingly act it. So in the monitor or the evaluator, that means they analyze the ideas that have been generated or that has been given by others. So they have the lack of ability to motivate others, but they can analyze very well. So the specialist is nothing but he is the person who has extraordinary talent in particular domain. We can say he is a specialist in something, right? So these are the cerebral roles, or based on these categories the people would be divided into different teams. So basically, we can say that the roles are action oriented or social oriented. That means people oriented, or it is thinking oriented. Okay. So the simple concept that what the test manager or the basically the one who forms the team, he has to keep in mind is that in a team he should not have all the thinkers or all the implementers. So a team should be a combination of these different roles. If only one type of role people are there in a team, then it won't work. Okay. So next we will talk about team management system. So this is again a model wherein this is used for the team to succeed. So here people of different strengths are required. So according to this model, every team members they should be strong team player. So based on the type of work that has to be done and the personal work preferences of the individual, the team has to be selected. So we have here 8 different profiles. So according to these 8 profiles, the team has to be chosen. Okay. The first one is reporter advisor. That means these are the people they collect and share information. They would be supportive and flexible in work. Second profile is creator and innovator. So these are the people who research on the new ideas. Okay. Next is explorer or promoter. That means these are the people, they are looking for the opportunities. These are the explorers, they are fast thinkers. Okay. The fourth profile, it is assessor or developer. That means they develop and test new things and they make them work. Okay. Next one is thirster organizer. That means these are the result oriented people. They make quick decisions. Next one is concluder producer. So these are practical people. They are systematic in planning and working. Next one is controller inspector. So this means they are the people who control the detailed things of the work. These would be like less skilled people, but they control each and every detail of the work what they are doing. Last one is upholder maintainer. This means these are the people they like to upload the standards and the values. They would be more conservative. Okay. So whenever you are forming a team, so you have to make sure your team is a combination of these eight profiles. So now let us move on to the next slide, which tells us about the skills that are needed for the testers. So the first one here is the good understanding of the application domain. So the domain may be ERP domain or telecommunication domain, embedded software domain. So whatever may be the domain, the tester should have a proper or the thorough understanding of the domain. Then they should have excellent knowledge of the software quality assurance principle. So whenever they are testing, they have to apply these principles and then they can generate a quality product, right? They should have good oral and the written communication skill. Oral communication is for communicating with the different teams. Writing communication skill is for designing of your test cases. Then they should have good listening skills. That means whenever if they are in a call with a client or any stakeholder, they have to be attentive. They have to be, or they should have a good listening skills. They should not miss some points, right? The next skill would be like they should have thorough knowledge of the software testing. So all the processes that are included in the software testing, they should have a ample amount of knowledge on that. Then exposure to the testing tools. So as a tester, you cannot tell like I'm only a manual tester, I cannot do a automation. You should have basic knowledge of automation testing as well, like basic tools you should be knowing it. Then experience in designing the test cases, which is very important. Why? Because whatever the test cases you design, finally what you do, you give it to the client. So the client is the one, or the end users are the one who use your test cases, and based on the test cases they'll execute the software, right? So it has to be, or you should have, as a tester you should have a very good experience in designing of the test cases. Then an eye for detail. That means you should be eager. That means you should capture the tiny details in your project. If you have any queries, go and ask to your developers or the clients. Okay. So these are few of the skills that are needed for the test engineers. So the next we will talk about the skills needed for the test leaders or the test manager, the one who will lead the testing team. So these this slide shows you the skills that are needed for the test managers. Basically, they should have the ability to perform high performance team, ability to identify strength of the individuals. They should, again, these people should also have good written and oral communication skills. Why? Because these are the one who actually communicate with the top management, or they would be sending mails or the reports to the clients. So the managers should have good written and the oral communication skill. Ability to resolve the conflicts. This mainly occurs between your testing team and the development team, or the development team and the client. Whenever there is a, say suppose a defect has been arised, and say suppose that has been identified by the testing team, and the development team is not ready to accept the defect, that time a conflict might occur. So the managers or the test leaders, they should have ability to resolve these conflicts. So then they have to mentor the test engineers. Mentoring is nothing but giving proper knowledge transfers, or giving proper training to the test engineers. Then they have to motivate and inspire the test engineers to do the work with strict deadlines. That means if there is a time constraint, then they have to motivate or they inspire the testers to do the work in the specified time. Next is the leadership qualities. As they are the leaders or the test engineers, they should have the leadership qualities. Then they have to facilitate a group to achieve goals. They have to mentor or they have to motivate the team to achieve the goal, that is the quality software, right? Next we will talk about the test manager's responsibilities. In the last slide we had seen test manager's skills, right? But now we will see test manager's responsibilities. So here in the test manager's responsibilities, the first and the basic thing is they have to plan the testing process. They have to create, you know, they have to identify the testing objectives. They have to identify the effort, budget for their testing process. They have to plan, right? The second one would be formation of the team and provide the training to the team members. If suppose the team member or the tester he has uh, little knowledge about, say suppose the banking software or the domain, then the it is the test manager's responsibility to guide him or to provide training to him. And again, formation of the team also it comes as a responsibility of the test manager. The third thing would be ensure that the necessary infrastructure and tools are available, like whether infrastructure such as you have to create as a test manager, you have to create the proper environment for the testing team, like the computers, how many computers are needed, or basically the software or the hardware which is needed. Okay, then conduct a periodic review and manage risk. So this is nothing but as and when your testing process, testing phase has been started, the manager's responsibility is to he has to monitor the progress. He has to continuously review what is going on in the team, or if suppose he sees a risk like people leaving the team, if suppose he gets these all news, or if he sees any of these things as a risk, he has to resolve it. Then he has to monitor the progress and communicate the status to all the persons concerned, like what is the progress of a testing team as per this week or this month. Then as a test manager, you have to communicate this to your concerned persons, like your seniors of your organization or maybe the client. Then coordinate with the different groups. So this means as a test manager, so you have to coordinate between different teams. Like you have to coordinate between the development team, IT team, or any top level management, right? So you should have good oral, or you should have proper interpersonal communication skills here. Then you have to resolve any conflicts that arise between the individuals and the groups. This we have already seen, right? Maybe there might be a conflict between the say tester and the developer, maybe the conflict between the client and the developer. So as a test manager, you should have this responsibility, or you should be able to resolve the conflicts. Next, you have to identify and collect the matrix data. So this means if suppose you are working on a project which is similar to a project which you have done in the past, then you have to collect the matrix of it. Matrix is nothing but how many defects were found out in the old project, then what was the number of lines of codes there, how many people worked on that project, how much time it took for that project to complete. So these all are the matrix data that has to be captured by again the manager. Next, he has to ensure all the testing objectives are met. He has to improve the testing process. Then again, he has to ensure each engineer, your tester, fulfill his or her responsibilities. Again, it is the responsibility of the test manager. So the next one, what we talk here is about test engineer's responsibilities or the tester's responsibilities. Okay. So first and foremost responsibility of any tester, it would be of studying the work products such as your SRS or your design document. They should have, as a tester, you should have a proper or thorough understanding of the SRS. Okay. Then we should also have an understanding about the types of testing that would be done. If suppose black box testing, okay, how that would be done. If it is alpha testing, how that would be done. You should have knowledge on that. Then carry out the test design. That means you have to have test scripts ready, test cases ready. You should have a proper experience in writing the test cases. So you should follow certain guidelines so that you will design a proper test case or the test script. Then you have to document the test cases. So this means once you have done the test cases ready, you should keep it in a repository so that if you have lost it in your computer, it will be present in the repository. It would save your time. Okay. Then the next one, test execution and the incident reporting. So this is nothing but, say suppose your test execution is in progress. What as a tester you have to do is like you have to take your test case, you have to start executing it. If you find out any defect, then you have to log the defect. Okay. The last one is report the progress to the manager or the leader. This means when the work is done day by day, or every day, what you have to do, you have to send your progress to your manager or the leader. It is the responsibility again. Fine. So these are the few responsibilities of the testers. That's it for today. We'll conclude our session. Thank you.